problem is that Biden can't talk. He can't speak. And there's a big controversy at Fox News that I'll get to in a moment. But let me back that up. Here's what Biden said, or tried to say, yesterday. Go.
If you want a nominee who will bring this party together, who'll run a progressive, positive campaign and turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. We can only reelect Donald Trump if, in fact, we get engaged in this circular firing squad here. It's got to be a positive campaign, so join us.
Look, I don't know what's the matter with Joe Biden, and I'm not going to be presumptuous enough to tell you that he has a condition. I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong. I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. Well, we do have a lot of physicians watching us, but I'm not going to say with any certainty why he can't speak. I will say he cannot speak. He doesn't know what he's saying. All right? So you got a guy running for president who does not know what he's saying. Now, on Fox News, you had Howard Kurtz criticizing some commentators on FNC for using Biden's gaffes against him. And then Sean Hannity and others slapped back at Kurtz going, what do you expect us to do? This is an issue, which it is. But it's how you handle the issue. So I've been asked many, many times on the radio, well, do you think he's got dementia? And I go, not fair of me to comment. I don't know. All right? I can't tell you that. But there is a problem. I can tell you that. Now, Joe Biden was in, this is a ride. I'm sorry if I don't take it seriously. So Joe Biden's in Michigan, and he goes to a car manufacturing plant where workers are, blue-collar workers. And the gun thing comes up. Roll the tape.
And you are actively trying to diminish your Second Amendment right and take away the gun.
You're for Now, go to shush. Shush. I support the Second Amendment. Second Amendment, just like right now, if you yell fire, that's not free speech.
What does that mean? What does that mean? All right, so, and then it went on and on and on. But he told the worker he was full of the S word. I'm not sure that's a good thing. You can say, look, you're misguided. I disagree with you. And Biden doesn't care about guns. He doesn't. He's going to say whatever he has to say to get the Democrats to vote for him. He doesn't care about guns. He's not like Sanders. Well, Sanders doesn't care either because he's from Vermont. But Warren or Beto or those people, Buttigieg, who would seize them. That's not Biden. Not going to do anything there. Biden's brother, and this is you're going to hear more and more and more of this, 70-year-old James Biden. Now there are allegations that he committed fraud in some of his companies, trading on his brother's name. There are allegations. I'm a big due process guy. I don't know any more about it, but I can tell you that it's not going to stop. That Biden's whole family, the same thing they do to Trump. Now, Bernie Sanders, why is he going to lose all the states tomorrow? When he should win Washington State and Michigan, he should have won them. Why is he going to lose? 12 seconds on 60 Minutes sunk Bernie Sanders. Roll it.
But it's unfair to simply say everything is bad. When Fidel Castro came into office, you know what he did? He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing? Even though Fidel Castro did it?
That was it. That was it. Once you throw in with Fidel Castro, even the far left Democrats said, we can't do it. That killed Bernie Sanders. And what nobody knows is that when Fidel Castro took over in Cuba in 1959, 80% of Cubans could read and write. So I guess, I don't know who he's teaching to read and write when 80% of them could already, but Bernie Sanders. That sunk him. All right, here is our daily coronavirus update. The World Health Organization has declared the virus a global pandemic. And it is. It's easily contagious, and it's going around, so everybody should know about it. and every step that can be taken should be taken to lessen the impact of this disease. Now, here in the USA, I think the federal government and the states are doing a pretty good job. Remember, one of the president's mandates is not to cause panic. Okay? So I read an article in a hate Trump media place, and it said, well, they're classifying all the discussions in the White House about the coronavirus. Yeah, they are, because in those discussions, things are put forth and discussed and put aside. And things are said that may cause uncomfort, discomfort to people. Why would you want that out if it's just a discussion point? It's not going to happen. Of course you would classify it, because it can be taken out of context and cause panic. You know, I mean, this isn't PhD stuff. But if President Trump does it, the hate Trump people will hate it. That's the way it is, and you know it. All right, so there is an emergency meeting today at the White House. I don't know what the emergency is. We'll find out. Then Joe Biden will deliver an address on the coronavirus tomorrow. We will cover for sure. Then the Biden-Sanders debate on Sunday night in Arizona will have no audience. All right, it's just going to be those two guys and the moderators. And as you know, the moderators don't do anything. And this is going to be big on Sunday because it's Bernie Sanders' last chance. And I'll get to that in a moment. Let me get through the virus first. All right, the Pope, and this is very interesting, is urges priests to visit people with the virus. Now, this is what the Pope always does. Italy has been locked down. You can still go to church in Italy, but a lot of the service has been cut back. Restaurants only open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and only restaurants can operate if they can keep a meter between the customers. So Italy is the most dramatic outside of Asia country impacted. So the Pope says, look, if you're a priest, you got to go and aid the sick. This is what we do. And he's right, morally. Morally, he's right. But you can't do it because it's unrealistic. So if the priest goes in and they administer to somebody with the coronavirus, they come out with the coronavirus. And then they administer to other people and they spread the coronavirus. You have to calm the waters if you are the leader. Keep that in mind because all of the criticisms directed at Donald Trump, and they're directed by a corrupt media, and you would expect the Democratic Party. So, I mean, I'm giving the Democratic Party a pass because you expect them to do that. But the corrupt media, that just sickens me. All right. First soundbite from Donald Trump is about individual Americans. Go.
The vast majority of Americans, the risk is very, very low. Young and healthy people can expect to recover fully and quickly if they should get the virus. The highest risk is for elderly population with underlying health conditions. The elderly population must be very, very careful.
All right, that's accurate according to the Centers for Disease Control. Okay, what's the criticism of that statement? Again, he's trying to bring down the panic. Second soundbite is about his policy toward the European Union. Go.
The European Union failed to take the same precautions and restrict travel from China and other hotspots. As a result, a large number of new clusters in the United States were seeded by travelers from Europe. We will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. The new rules will go into effect Friday at midnight. These restrictions will be adjusted subject to conditions on the ground.
Okay. The problem was it isn't all travel. If you are an American, you can come back if you can get a flight. I understand they're price gouging now, the airlines, and charging thousands and thousands of dollars to come back. Anyway, what he's saying is what I said at the beginning, and it's true. Whereas the United States very quickly suspended flights from China and the hotspots, Europe didn't. Italy allowed all the flights in, and Italy is locked down. So what he's saying is true. Third soundbite. What is the country going to do for individual workers who get hurt. Go.
Finally, I am calling on Congress to provide Americans with immediate payroll tax relief. Hopefully, they will consider this very strongly. We are at a critical time in the fight against the virus. We made a life-saving move with early action on China. Now we must take the same action with Europe. We will not delay.
Okay. So a payroll tax cut means that anybody with a job gets more money to take home if they get their hours cut or whatever. I don't know how you could oppose that. It's a temporary thing, but I think that's one solution. There'll probably be others. They'll probably lift the April 15th tax filing deadline. I would assume they would do that so that you don't have to write a check to the government. I assume that'll happen. And there may be other federal mandates as far as your take-home pay is concerned.